G'day guys.
Hey guys, welcome to our tour of our Scorpion Sting.
Yes, so we're going to show you through the ins and outs of our 2020 JB Scorpion Sting 22'6" bunk van.
Yeah.
So
I'll do the inside, Brad will do the outside.
I'll do the outside, and the battery stuff and all that sort of jazz.
Yeah.
Let's get to it.
See ya. Alright, come on in, we'll show you inside. Welcome. So we went with some lighter colours in the van. We did have some people say to us it's probably not a very good idea to do whites and that kind of thing because of cleaning, but we found you're going to wipe the benches and the cupboards and all that kind of thing anyway, so why not enjoy it? So here's the master bedroom. So we've got the two overhead lights. We've got Sirocco fans each, so these are awesome. You can lock them in when you're traveling and then unlock them and you can swivel them all sorts of ways. And they've got 3 settings, so they can go quite fast, which is awesome. And then you can switch them off and we lock them away when we travel. Then we've got the overhead extraction fan. So this one's awesome. You can actually set the temperature for it as well, and it will automatically come on if the inside of the van reaches that temp. So that one comes up. And then you can also get it to actually blow the other way, so it is kind of like a ceiling fan for us, which is awesome as well. That one also has a rain sensing hatch, so if we have it on during the day and it rains, it'll automatically shut for us, which is awesome. The TV, we've both got plenty of storage up here and across the bed as well. So we've got all our clothes and underwear and all that kind of thing in there, which you don't need to see. And plenty of storage up here, so I keep a few little knick-knacky things of mine in there, and some photos on the wall of the family and that kind of thing. And so yeah, heaps of storage for us, which is excellent. Up here on this side, Brad kind of loses out a little because in here we've got all the stuff for the TV. So we've got all our Wi-Fi, our Apple TV and everything stored in there because it's close to the TV, so it's just convenient and easy. And down here is some more storage as well. Under the bed is heaps of storage also. So we've, well, probably not as much as always, but you know, this is because we've got a massive battery system in here. So just here is our only storage section that we have for our personal belongings, and this is the battery system. So I'll hand it over to Brad now and he can explain all of that to you.
Righto, let's talk about our batteries. So we run a full EnerDrive system. We have a 400 amp hour lithium. We run an inverter charger Combi, the ePro Combi. So that's a 3000 watt inverter. So that bad boy there can quite easily run our aircon system. And depending on how many amps you're pulling out of this thing, with the depending on obviously how hot the van is during the day, as to how much you're going to use your battery while running the aircon. It does tend to chew it a bit if it's quite a warm day. We run a 40 amp DC to DC charger while we're driving along. The batteries being charged by that DC to DC. The TriStar solar controller is down here. That bad boy there, 45 amp Morningstar TriStar solar controller. So up on top of the van, we run 680 watts. So 4 170 watt panels of solar are up on top. I also have an in-point and inlet point at the front of the van here for a 200 watt solar blanket that I use as well if I want some more juice. But basically that's putting in about anywhere but sort of up to 35 amp hours with that sun sort of banging on the van, which is cool. The Truma heater is underneath here and it's just controlled over there. So when we first kicked off on our trip, it was pretty cold and we use that bad boy. It does chew the gas, but yeah, she comes out right there. Also all in here is just all breakers and fuses and stuff like that, which over my head. But anyway, I know we've got plenty of power, that's all I know. So the main hub here is the EnerDrive Universal Remote Control. So this bad boy up here. So you can pretty much see what your battery voltage is sitting at, what your battery is drawing. So -2 amps at the moment. The temperature of the battery, your alternating current, your AC in current, your power. So there's nothing coming in at the moment because we're sitting on sort of free camp, I suppose. Your AC out, power out, and frequency out. So this system's really cool you can and you should actually adjust your AC in current depending on what's happening with your power coming in. So if you've got a 15 amp point or a 10 amp point, you've really got to try and get this AC current in to the, I suppose, as accurate as you can. And you basically just adjust those by pushing and turning the dial, which is nice and easy. And that's just your ePro, so that sort of tells you a bit of a live feed of what's going on. So currently with 99% battery, even on a grey day, it does give you some. We're currently negative 4.69 amps. We've got the fans running at the moment, a few lights, all the lights on the outside as well, which I didn't point out. Actually, we have front light and side lights and rear lights. So there's lights all around this van.
Okay, and then the dining area. So we've got one of the tables that moves, so it swivels in all directions, which is very convenient and can be pushed away like that. And then you can also, if you press this, it will actually go down, and we have the cushion there that turns that into another bed. So if we have visitors, which we've had someone stay with us before, my mum came and stayed, so we put one of the kids on there and she slept in Charlotte's bed. Some more lights over here, which is great. And of course there's plenty of storage up here. We tend to keep sort of our knick-knacky personal stuff in there. In here is the monitors for the water and the battery. Above here is where we keep all of our food. So we've got 2 cupboards here which we keep most of our food in, plus down here we've actually got the pull-out pantry as well, so that comes out as well, so there's plenty of storage in there. It's a little bit messy, sorry. In the kitchen we've got, so we actually kept the oven as well as the grill and the cooktop. So I actually, just a little tip for you, store the cutting boards on the top here because they've got this rubber edging, they don't move on the glass. So I find that's awesome. That's the cooktop in here, but they don't move at all. So I keep them in there, they're tucked away, they don't slide or move anything like that while we're traveling. And the grill and the oven. Now we decided to keep the oven, I know not everybody does, but we actually use it for storage as well. So we keep our bread and our toaster in there, just in case there's a rainy day, which we've had a bit of lately. It just makes it convenient to have if you can't use the barbecue or whatever. And then we've got the exhaust fan with the 3 different settings and the light as well. A couple of power points, and this is actually the control for the lights outside. So we have orange lights outside as well, so that's how we switch those on and off. We decided to put some greenery in because we just found that the white was sort of a little bit washed out, so we found that kind of brightened things up a little, just a little thing from IKEA, and we just stuck it up with some heavy duty double-sided tape. Here we have the sound system, so the Fusion sound system, which is pretty cool. So that controls inside and out, so you can control that all from your phone. We have speakers inside the van and outside the van, so yeah, it's pretty cool. The other thing we have is just a little hook near the door where we keep the keys. We find that's convenient to keep them close to the door, and then a couple of hooks for our hats. So we have our Akubras under our fishing hats because they sit there nice and tidy. And then in the kitchen, the other thing, this was sort of like a useless space, so we just decided to convert that into holding our knives. Some people like to put their keys in there, so they have like a rack that they hang all their keys on. But yeah, we just thought that was quite handy having that nearby. So we went with the black sink and spout. We had a few people say that you might end up with markings, but we haven't found any issues with that. There is generally a drainer that is here as well, but we decided to take that out just to give us more bench space. So we have heaps of bench space, especially with this part down as well. There's plenty of room there to prep and do what you need to do. Now we actually upgraded our freezer as well. So we went to a... We went to a 224, that's right. It was bigger, that's all that I knew. So yeah, that's been brilliant. There's plenty of space in there for our food and everything. My mum's pretty nifty, so we got her to actually make us a curtain. So this curtain separates the kids area from the main area and our bedroom. It's also really convenient if you're putting the aircon on but you don't want the whole van air conditioned, or you want to just be mindful of your power. It just kind of blocks that off, so it keeps this area cool and obviously not there. And we've got the kids a height chart, which I still need to get the extension because Charlotte's nearly outgrown it. But yeah, that tucks in there as well. And I've got to put all their old measurements on there. We also decided to keep the microwave, although we don't use it a terrible lot. Again, it's there if you need it, and it's super convenient to store your paper towel in. So we just find that is another little nifty thing to have. And when you go to resell, it's a good idea to have that in case whoever buys it and wants it or needs it. So yeah. The kids area. So we only have 2 children. So we have the double bunk. We decided to take out they had DVD players here. We decided to take those out and get the Sirocco fans instead. So they each have a Sirocco fan. We hang up their hats there as well. So they also have Akubras. So we just have a little hook there. Their Akubras go in and the fishing hats sit nice and tidy on top. We probably need to find a spot for Riley's basketball. They've got plenty of power and light in here. So if I just move Riley's pillow for you, you'll see he's got USB points and power points there as well. And then the princess, she's got some little fairy lights on the side here with some little pegs that she's going to hang some photos on as we go around. Again, the Sirocco fan and a spot for her to hang up her hat as well, or hats. And they've got the windows for themselves as well. Riley has some storage just under here. So under the ladder is his storage, and then Charlotte has her storage in the drawer here. And they each have a couple of shelves in here. We do homeschooling, so all the books and whatnot are down the bottom. Big winter jackets, towels and that kind of thing up the top. These hooks here, so these ones, little ant. So these hooks here we actually just got from Howard Storage, so they come off really easily, so you can peel them and move them around wherever you like. So on the doors, or you could hang them on the wall here, whatever. So we've also got the washing machine, which has been super handy. So we use that quite a bit. Another little tip for you, if you're on tank water, try and do a load of washing before you leave. We just find before you go and fill up, that way you've used the water in the tank, you've got a load of washing done, and then when you get to your destination, you can go and hang it out. So that's super convenient as well. We've also got these hatches here. So these ones are really cool. They go all the way up, just give you plenty of ventilation. And then they've got 2 other lower settings as well. So they're really cool with the bug net also. And then the bathroom. So there's actually heaps of storage in here. The toilet, Brad has the awesome job of emptying that one. The cassette's on the outside. Plenty of storage up here. So the kids are probably not quite old enough to have too many cosmetics, which is good. Gives us plenty of room ourselves. The hatch in here as well. So we didn't have this in our old van. This is super handy. You can have the fan on when someone's doing a stinky, and close that one up as well. So that's super handy. That's Brad. I'll just duck in here, and then we've got the shower in here as well. So that again has its own hatch and fan, and the light here, you can do a blue light, white light, and you can actually dim it as well. So that's really cool, especially if you've, in an area where there's lots of bugs and you don't want too many bugs flying in with you in the shower. Yeah, and we've done a couple of things like add hooks, that sort of thing here, just so that we can hang the towel for the feet. We added the little container to hold the toothbrushes. That's probably about it in here. That's all pretty standard. The mirror has been awesome. So we've got a full length mirror in here, which is cool because it just gives you that option. I know a lot of vans don't have that. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. It's been awesome. We haven't had any problems at all. So also under the couch, we have storage under here. So on both sides. So there's a drawer under here. We actually keep our pots and pans in there. We live pretty simple. We just have a couple of pans and 1 pot, and that's it. So they're handy. And then under here is a whole bunch of storage as well. So heaps of storage around. And that's over the wheels too, which is handy when you're looking at your weights. I think that's about it. What else?
Pockets underneath the thing.
Oh yeah.
We'll talk about them.
The other storage for us personally is the pockets that we have on either side of our bed. So we can keep our laptops and knick-knacky things, our headphones, all that sort of stuff goes in there. So they're out of the way and tucked away out of view. All right, thanks guys. Hope you enjoyed.
So, like I said before, JB 2020 Scorpion Sting, 22'6" twin bunk fan. We run a DO45 hitch. So DO44 hitch, Cruisemaster just put out a new hitch, but we run the old one. So quite a simple locking mechanism there. Rated for 4.5 tonne because we are, and I'll explain our weights and measures in a little bit. Handbrake, of course. So Alco electronic stability control. We run the Safety Dave system as well, so Safety Dave on here. And then that's just for stability control, charging the batteries while we drive along, and our 12-pin plug for everything else. In the front here, so in this side here is sort of our toolbox. So I run just an impact driver, a cordless blower, and a range of other tools that I probably should get rid of some of them, but anyway, I've got everything that I need, we think. In here is just the gas bottles. So we run 2 9-kilo gas bottles. We didn't reduce the size of them, reason being I'm not too concerned about weight, to be honest. And we also run an instant gas hot water. So I'll show you that in a second. Underneath the back there, in behind the stone deflector, is a tap. Quite simple, a bit of a pain in the ass spot, to be honest, but anyway, it's for arms like me, big bunky arms, I can get to it. We've got a light on the front, the hatch for the front window, which we opted for. That's an option in the Scorpion Stings. I don't know if it still is, but it was when we bought ours. In the front here is just our Jenny. So I've generator and I put my hoses in there as well. So both of these toolboxes, this one and the other one, run on a slide. So they're both on slides, which is nice and simple and easy. In here is just some storage for either your rafter poles for your awning, which we don't use, but in here I've got my fishing rods, don't tell anybody. More storage in here under the tunnel boot, so in the tunnel boot I should say. So we opted to lift our bed 100 millimeters inside, which gave us a higher tunnel boot. So we run a large, I think it's a Weber Q2000, so it's the family size Weber. It wouldn't fit in here, and I don't want the baby Q to fit in here, which it was designed to do on the other side. So we lifted it up. This side's just a bit messy, but it's the kids' scooters, just the awning shade and the clothesline right now because we're out. We're pretty limited with what we've got out at the moment because we're only here for a night or two. That's the exhaust for the Truma instant gas hot water, gas heater I should say, which we didn't actually show you inside. So that's the gas heater there, exhaust, just some scrub bars. This is the Truma AquaGo instant hot water. It's been pretty good, I must say. Rather than heating up all the time, burning gas or burning power, it's instant. So when it's going to treat, it's going to treat. We upgraded our water tanks. So we run 3 nearly 100 litre tanks, so just under 100 litres each. So 2 for sink, basin, toilet, and shower, so mains water. And then we also run 100 litre tank for drinking water only. So we've inside the house, inside the van I should say, which is our house, we've got a filter that sits underneath the sink or behind the sink to filter the water that comes in here. And I also filter the water when we're on filling them up as well. So sort of a triple system or double system, I suppose. Just the fridge vents in here. Because the fridge is not exhausted on top, these are open. And if we're hitting dusty roads, we just cover these up, to be honest. That's when you're on shore power, so 240 power coming in and breaker switches next to it. This is where all the wees and poos go in here. Do you want me to show you, or I can just leave that shut? Probably leave it shut. More scrub bars here. This is the external shower. So in behind here, it's an external shower, which we use at the beach, waterfall, I don't know, anywhere like that when you're a bit grubby and we want to sort of hose the kids down, or the wife if she's a bit dirty. The rear of the van, she's not very impressed with me right now. So we went for the 4 bike Fiamma bike holder. So we're running just the kids' bikes and Lauren's at the moment, but it holds 60 kilos, so it's awesome, and it's really, really simple to use, so we use that obviously all the time. Spare wheel in the back. We've got a timber box back here, which we have actually used quite a bit at the moment. It's just got a bit of rubbish in there. ARB gear bag, which has typically got Lauren's beer cans in there and a bunch of rubbish, mainly my beer cans. Fuel back here. So because we've got the boat, we take a 20-litre jerry of petrol. And I've got the diesel for now, which, to be honest, we've got tons of diesel in the car. I don't know if I'll use it, but anyway, I've got a 20-litre tin there for shits and giggles. Swore. Awning. So we run a Dometic slide-out awning, or roll-out awning, I should say. I've got these Navigator tie-downs here. So these things can get a bit of a whoop-up with wind, which you don't really want to have your awning busting. It's a bit of a pain in the butt. So we tend to tie them down wherever we go now. And there is absolutely no wind around right now, but anyway, we've still got them tied down, as you can see. So, back of the van. So the kids have got their own, they're called windows, those things. So they've got their own windows each. We have our windows, so there's different floor plans in vans. We have our windows and kids' bunks, I should say, on the awning side or the passenger side of the van. We find that when the awning's up and through the night time, if there is some rain, and there's been a rain around lately, the kids can still open their windows and they're not sort of getting blasted by rain. So it's pretty handy having them there on this side of the van. Underneath here, which I won't go into too much, but it's our chairs. Well, there's our 2 chairs back there, the kids' 2 chairs, the skatey, and just some odds and sods. So just the blue loos and the bottle jack and stuff for the van, which is good. I talked about the scrub bar. This is the external speaker system and TV, I suppose entertainment system, I should say, rather than speaker system. So you can run everything outside here. There's a TV hatch or holder just here. It's nice. Not that we watch much TV, to be honest. Speakers outside for the music. That's one thing we do a lot of. We listen to music heaps, so that was pretty of a must for us to have that in our van. Table, pretty obvious. Split door, stainless screen. So this chair, not chair, what's that thing? Stairs. Steps. Auto up and down on the steps. On the barbecue. One last thing on this side. So the barbie's just on a slide. So I did this slide out myself, I suppose. Just went to Dun & Watson, grabbed the slide, I'll pull that baby out because that just sits in there. And the barbie just comes out like that. And that's her. So nice and easy. So it's just the gas bayonet point sits underneath here. So just unhook it, put the gas on there, and we are away. So it's really nice and strong. I've got heaps of prep space. That table also folds out, so you've got sort of double tables there as well. So yeah, really quite a handy little thing, and just folds away nice and easy in there. That's it. Righto. We run the Cruisemaster ATX 4.5 tonne or 4,500 kilogram suspension system. For some silly reason, we didn't go airbags. I was worried about weight at the start, and then I went and bought a new car, and I'm not worried about weight too much now. But anyway, we're going to go and get bags put on this. We currently do not have airbags, but for a few grand I can get it. And it's just for that little bit of leveling when you're on site. You can sort of get about that much travel, which is quite handy. But for now, we just run the, let's grab that off the wifey. So, under there, as you can see, so she's currently coils. Everything else will remain the same, but we'll pull those coils out and put bags in there, which will be kind of handy. But as a standard suspension system, the way it is there, without the bags, it tows a treat. It's really, really good. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
So,
hope you enjoyed.
yes, that was our 2020 JB Scorpion Sting 22'6". If you have any questions or comments or anything, put them in the comment section below. We'll get back to you because we don't get many, so I'm sure we'll get back to you straight away. If you liked our video, give us a thumbs up. We're going to produce some more stuff as we travel around Australia.
Yeah.
Are you going to do it or am I going to do it?
Do what?
Produce the stuff.
Yay.
Anyway, thanks for watching. If you did, we really appreciate it. And if you're interested in subscribing, hit the button. Thanks, guys.
Thanks. See ya.
Bye.